Making his way to the cage, Alex Trinidad.
It's set for action at 150-pound catch weight. Here you see the Ice Cream Man, Alex Trinidad. Comes to the cage with a winning record of 4-2, 2 of his victories by knockout, 2 decisions. Nicknamed the Ice Cream Man because of his propensity to put opponents away in grappling matches with the notorious banana split.
Yeah, active duty naval member too, Chief Alex Trinidad, making his LXF debut. An expert in mind warfare. So stepping inside the cage should be second nature to this animal.
And now making his way to the red corner, Brian Del Rosario.
The bad boy is back, returning to the LXF cage. He sure turned a lot of heads at LXF 1 with an impressive first round victory over Sergio Quinones. You'll recall, gentlemen, it was the lethal Muay Thai of Del Rosario that set up that Darce choke, scoring his second submission victory to add to his 2 knockout victories.
Yeah, known primarily as a stand-up specialist, Brian Del Rosario's really improved his jiu-jitsu game underneath the tutelage of Timmy Bond, and he uses those strikes to set up his submissions, just like you said, like he did with that Darce choke. He's really become a very well-rounded fighter, and I cannot wait to see him step inside the cage tonight.
We take a look now at the tail of the tape as the Ice Cream Man faces the bad boy.
Virtually identical tail of the tape. Del Rosario might have a slight reach advantage. We'll see if that plays out in the fight. But these guys are even, Steven. Should be a hell of a fight.
Burbank, here we go. This next bout is presented by Limitless and scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. The man in charge of the action, once the bell sounds, Mr. James Beers. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my left, wearing the solid blue trunks with the yellow trim. He weighed in at 151 pounds even. He has a professional record of 4 wins, only 2 defeats, 2 big wins by way of knockout out of Brawley, California. Here is Alex, the Ice Cream Man, Trinidad. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner to my right, wearing the gold trunks with the black trim. He weighed in at 150 pounds even. He has a professional record of 4 wins, only 2 defeats, 2 big wins by way of knockout, representing the San Fernando Valley, and another LXF appearance. He is the bad boy, Brian Del Rosario.
Great atmosphere here for this one. A lot of parallels between Alex Trinidad and Brian Del Rosario, matching records at 4-2, both with 2 knockout victories as well. Expect fireworks in the LXF cage for this one. Alex Trinidad in the blue taking on Brian, the bad boy Del Rosario, in the black and gold. Bell sound set for action. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled. Don't know if we're going to get there.
Both these guys looking for their first opening. Nobody wants to be the first to make a mistake. A lot of feints from Trinidad.
Half of Trinidad's victories by knockout. Del Rosario has finished all of his victories, either by submission or knockout, has never won by decision.
Trinidad swinging with a big left hand, just missing. As Del Rosario circles away, back to the center of the cage. Here we go.
Those grazing left hands barely caught Del Rosario, and it caught his attention a little bit. But Trinidad is not to be taken lightly here.
And Trinidad staying on the outside right now, maybe sound strategy, as Del Rosario trying to paw with the jab and get his distance. You don't want Del Rosario to get inside on you and lock you in that tie clinch.
No, that's one place you don't want to be, is in this guy's tie clinch. He's got nasty knees, horrific elbows, and he can paint a bloody picture in a heartbeat. Alex Trinidad doing a good job of maintaining distance, but we've yet to see Brian Del Rosario commit to a strike. Long feeling out process here in the first round.
Trinidad has gone the distance. Fools rush in. Trinidad, a couple of his victories by decision. And Del Rosario, notoriously a fast starter. Del Rosario's 2 losses, one to A.J. Bryant, the other to Spike Carlisle, 2 very tough competitors. Takedown attempt now by Trinidad. Got that high crotch. Nice slam. Takes down the bad boy.
Beautiful job by Trinidad using the knee tap, transitioning into a high crotch, and now working out of the half guard of Brian Del Rosario. Del Rosario doing a good job of soaking up the posture and preventing Trinidad from mounting any offense so far here.
This takes away, though, presumably, Manuk, a lot of the arsenal of Del Rosario as well.
Yeah, Del Rosario's been negated of his strengths right now, which is the stand-up game. So the mind warfare expert has definitely held true to his calling, both inside the cage and outside. Here he is taming Del Rosario. Already has a mouse under his left eye from that earlier strike. Controlling the first half of the round so far.
And Jonathan, Trinidad mentioned that the world of MMA, as you see that shoulder butt there by Trinidad, really makes you find out who you really are. And I have a sense that he will find out that indeed when he's in there with the bad boy.
Yeah, when the soup gets thick, you really find out what kind of man you're made of. And right now, Brian Del Rosario is going to have to dig deep and find out what he has to offer for Alex Trinidad. It's all Trinidad so far here in the very first round.
Grinding away now is Trinidad after scoring that takedown. On the bad boy, into side control now. Goes the ice cream man. Trinidad, a lot of experience in grappling as well.
You see him setting up that shoulder pressure on the neck of Del Rosario. Del Rosario fishing away.
Del Rosario tried momentarily to kick off the cage there, try and reverse position. Unsuccessful at the moment. Coming up on a minute to go now in the first round. And you got to think that Trinidad happy with this side control, dominant position. Starts to stay busy now. He doesn't want to risk the stand-up. Paintbrush hammer fist there by Trinidad.
Those will certainly get your attention. Now he slides that knee right over into mount. He's got Del Rosario flattened out here.
And again, Del Rosario had so much momentum coming into this fight after that incredible performance at LXF1. But turning the tide of that momentum now is Trinidad. Shot after shot, the mind warfare expert with some explosive offense of his own.
Del Rosario doing a good job of avoiding any serious damage from these shots, but they're definitely starting to take effect. Nice hip bump, but unable to get out of position here. Trinidad still on top. Heavy hips from Alex Trinidad. 10 seconds left to go in the round.
More elbows by Trinidad trying to come up the middle and does on Del Rosario. Last second arm bar attempt. Impressive by Alex Trinidad as this first round comes to a close.
This is Sean Merriman. If you like what you're watching, come see the action live. Saturday, September 21st at Commerce Casino. See the future stars of MMA in the Lights Out cage. For tickets and info, check out lightsoutxf.com. See it live. It's going to be lights out.
Manuka Kopian, we go to your scorecard. Not the decisive start that we're accustomed to seeing out of Brian Del Rosario.
Yes, you nailed it there, Todd. A complete 180-degree difference from his first LXF debut. Trinidad dominated that entire round. Took him into some deep waters there at the end with that armbar at the end. If he had a few more seconds, he could have probably closed it off. Easy round for Trinidad, 10-9 on my card.
And we take a look back at the action now, Jonathan King, as we relive the action with the replay.
Beautiful takedown here. Some nasty ground and pound elbows trying to split the parallel guard of Del Rosario. Just relentless.
To Del Rosario's credit, he did a good job blocking a few of those, which limited the punishment that he probably was destined to take if his hands were wide open.
Amanuk, speaking of those ground and pound shots by Trinidad late in the first round, but was able to split the uprights with a couple of those elbows and get inside the defense of Del Rosario. But a new lease on life for Del Rosario, as round two, of course, will start in a standing position, which might work right into the game plan of the bad boy.
Del Rosario, again, taking a long time to get started on his feet here.
Jonathan, we're not accustomed to seeing the bad boy hesitant to pull the trigger.
No, but it's not a surprise after being taken down and controlled for much of the first round. That's got to be weighing heavy on the psyche of Del Rosario.
Kick up the middle by Del Rosario. Prior to that, there was a nice outside leg kick right to the side of the calf by Trinidad. See the redness starting to build on Del Rosario.
Del Rosario trying to snap that jab, but unable to find a home for it.
And I'm surprised Del Rosario's been as gun shy as he had. He has a size advantage. He has the reach advantage. He's just not getting off. There's one right there.
Came over the top, but putting himself in position for the takedown, which is scored by the Ice Cream Man.
Beautiful trip by Alex Trinidad. Puts Del Rosario back on the mat. Trinidad once again in dominant position here.
The Ice Cream Man, Alex Trinidad, has put the offensive attempts of Del Rosario into the deep freeze thus far in this matchup.
Del Rosario normally has a very active guard, so let's see if he starts to elevate with his legs, looking to threaten for the armbar or the triangle. Right now it looks like he's trying to inch his way back to the cage so he can get himself back to his feet. Nice hip bump and a beautiful transition by Brian Del Rosario.
Great leverage and power on display there by the bad boy. We'll see if he can get out of the blocks offensively here. Really the first time in this bout.
A small victory there within the battle. Probably the most positive moment Del Rosario's had in this fight so far.
Del Rosario covering the mouth, a little bit of gamesmanship here, trying to disrupt the breathing of Alex Trinidad. Trinidad doing an excellent job of controlling the posture. Del Rosario unable to land anything of consequence yet, but he's starting to frame with that elbow, so let's see if he starts to get loose.
And again, despite the fact that Del Rosario, a prolific striker, 2 of his 4 victories have come on the ground, including his LXF debut victory over Quinones with the Darce choke.
Nice job by Trinidad to get back to his feet. Del Rosario starting to get a little bit loose here with the strikes. Some nice kicks.
Might be time to light that fuse for Del Rosario, but a beautiful takedown shooting in was Trinidad. Scores yet again with 1:20 to go here in the second round.
Yeah, an excellent job by Trinidad turning the corner and again putting Del Rosario back on the mat. Del Rosario starting to elevate with his legs here. Looking to create a little bit of space, but Trinidad once again soaks it up.
Right up against the cage, right in front of us. Again, we thank you for watching. Wherever you may be watching the action of Lights Out Extreme Fighting.
Awesome, nice elbows from Del Rosario. And a big kick to push Trinidad away. Del Rosario gets back to his feet. And he's got a different look in his eye, Todd.
And so does Trinidad. Trinidad looked a little bit stunned there. And we'll see if the bad boy can capitalize. He's got Trinidad cornered, but got caught. Beautiful timing by the Ice Cream Man to catch that single leg and take him down.
Now Del Rosario trying to land some elbows on the inside. Bad position for Del Rosario in the center of the cage, but only 10 seconds left for Trinidad to ply his craft.
Trinidad successful again in grinding his way towards victory as round 2 comes to a close. Third and final round coming your way on Lights Out Extreme Fighting.
This is Sean Merriman. If you like what you're watching, come see the action live. Saturday, September 21st at Commerce Casino. See the future stars of MMA in the Lights Out cage. For tickets and info, check out lightsoutxf.com. See it live. It's going to be lights out.
Beautiful sportsmanship there between Trinidad and Del Rosario. Final round to determine the victor in this one. Can Del Rosario reverse his fortunes of this fight and keep the momentum going that he started at LXF1 with a big victory? On the flip side, the Ice Cream Man trying to serve up another victory for himself.
You can tell by Trinidad's approach, he's very flat-footed here. He's looking to counter with another takedown. Keeping a strong base, and there it is. Steps right over into mount, too. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to work. Bad position for Brian Del Rosario.
Looking for his namesake banana splits there and just really charging in with that takedown. Dominant, decisive takedown by Trinidad. And again, looking to starch Del Rosario and eat up some precious clock. Not where the bad boy wants to be.
No, flat on his back is not the position Brian Del Rosario wants to be in this late in the fight. Alex Trinidad controlling the position, looking to posture up here.
And gentlemen, the endurance of Del Rosario not tested in his bout with Quinones because Del Rosario getting that round 1 victory, but prior to that coming off of a lengthy layoff.
Yeah, the accident could really be the focal point right now in his training camp and not being able to get the cardio where it needs to be. You might wonder if he's better off taking some time off and fully recovering because he hasn't been able to get off at all this entire fight.
Some nasty short elbows there on the ground by Trinidad.
Yeah, not swinging from the fences. They're real short, but they're definitely leaving a mark. Del Rosario doesn't want to eat any more of those, that's for certain. He's got both legs vined out. Del Rosario in bad position here. He's going to have to hip bump or do something to create some space. Look for a sweep, anything to get off his back. Otherwise, he's going to be on the wrong end of perhaps another 10-8 round.
You can see now busted open, cut open by those elbows, those short elbows. The Ice Cream Man is certainly not serving up soft serve. That's for sure here on the ground, trying to put this thing away in the third and final round.
The Ice Cream Man will keep you satisfied, as Van Halen would say. And he's doing a great job of satisfying this crowd here by putting it on Brian Del Rosario.
Nasty laceration, it looks like, gentlemen.
Yeah, right over that left eye. Looks like a really, really bad cut, gushing really badly.
Hard to get a real good look at it, though, because Alex Trinidad continues to absolutely smother Del Rosario.
Minute 45 seconds left. Let's see if Del Rosario can create a little bit of space here. He's trying to bump. He's doing his best, but very hard to hip escape when you're flattened out the way he is.
Oof. This is tough to watch.
Nasty shots by Trinidad, the chief in the U.S. Navy, comes up the middle, and that one hurt Del Rosario. Turns over and might be out of the frying pan and into the fire here for Trinidad, who continues with the ground and pound. Elbows.
Those are absolutely concussive, those elbows just battering the guard of Del Rosario, and he's starting to land with succession here.
Referee taking a real close look at this. He's still trying the hip escape here, but shot after shot by Trinidad.
He's got to try that hip escape now when Trinidad's sitting back on the hips. When Trinidad's knees go towards the armpits, the hip escapes don't work. The higher Trinidad gets in mount, the less opportunity Del Rosario has to use those bumps to get out. Now flattened out again, you see him vining the legs, just preventing any kind of power explosion from Del Rosario. When he does try to explode, he ends up perhaps giving up his back. That's why you see him going back.
Hasn't had an answer. No escape from this ground and pound onslaught by Alex Trinidad, who is seconds away from a big victory. Last seconds ticking away. Goes to show you how tough the competition here is in LXF after a dominant performance last time out by Del Rosario. Shoes on the other foot in this one as the fight comes to an end.
Impressive performance for the chief, Alex Trinidad.
Reliving the action now with the replay. Leg kick attempt there by Del Rosario, but got taken down at will by Trinidad.
Beautiful head position on the takedown. Trinidad just drives right through the hips of Brian Del Rosario, puts him back on the mat, and kept him there for pretty much the entire round. Manuk, I gotta ask you, it was a 10-8 round on my scorecard. How did you have that round?
Same here, 10-8. What a brutal beatdown Trinidad put there to really put an exclamation mark on that third and final round. I have it 30-26 in favor of Alex Trinidad. We'll see what the official judges have to say.
You can take a look at the scars of battle there on the face of the bad boy. This one will go to the official scorecards after going the distance. What a performance by the Ice Cream Man.
Burbank, to the scorecards we go. Judge Chris Grail scores about 30-25. Judge Jackie Denkin scores about 29-27. And Judge Luis Cobian scores about 30-26 for the winner. By way of unanimous decision, the Ice Cream Man, Alex Trinidad.
Big win by Trinidad. He's the Ice Cream Man. Stop him or he'll pass you by. Amber standing by.
It's a big win for you with Brian coming off a win in LXF1. You got the U.S. Navy flag on there, an expert in mind warfare. How does that prepare you for fights like this?
The fight's easy compared to what everybody does in real life. Just want to thank everybody out there who's serving right now.
And you get on top of him, you don't let him up. Man, could he take a couple of elbows, though? Were you getting frustrated thinking he can take a lot of shots here?
Yeah, like midway third round, he wouldn't die. He's a super tough guy. He hits really hard. He stunned me in the second round. Caught a kick to the sternum. That kind of hurt. That's why I took him down. So he's really tough. I'm glad. Thank him for taking the fight.
And you say you look for submissions and positions that other people do not. What was your strategy with that?
My coach told me drag him through glass and then drown him in deep waters. That's what we did. We knew he had a good stand-up, but my wrestling is far superior, so just had to use what I have.
Congratulations. Enjoy the win as you improve to 5-2 now.
Sweet. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for having me. Hope you enjoy the show.